the criteria Latifi needs to do to get re-signed.
Not get last.
Oh, Spa's back, and lights out, and away we go. And Lewis Hamilton is halfway to space.
Personally, go IndyCar over Williams.
Yeah,
Grosjean Zhu.
Guan Yu
Zhou.
Guan Zhu Zhou.
No,
Zhou
Zhou Guan Yu.
I said that the first time.
George was already sitting in that seat.
Look, I don't agree with it, but you've asked a question. I'm trying to find a way to justify
And I'm just
it.
trying to absolutely tear your answer apart.
G'day, and welcome to Formula Bums. My name is Jacko, and with me, as always, is Andy. How are you, mate?
I'm tired.
You're tired. Look, we're nearly done for the day. It's been a big day in the studio for us, but in very exciting news, Andy, I've bought you a present.
A present?
I bought you a present, and by that I mean I haven't done a transaction for this. It's highly illegal. But Reese is back.
He's back.
Reese turned up.
He's back.
Reese, we are 3 years into the new technical regulations. You're our technical advisor. What are your thoughts on the new car design, mate?
It's different. It's a Red Bull kind of car, isn't it?
So, we don't expect an apology. We don't want you to throw yourself on the ground and beg to be welcome back. You're our prodigal son, but you do owe everyone an explanation of where you've been the last little while, my man. What's life been like for you?
He missed all of season 2, but was always in the intro.
Yep.
I was.
And the funniest bit of the intro too. And now that I've gone back and listened to it, Reese is right when he's like, "That's what I said the first time." It is what he said the first time.
I know.
Been great. Just working, got into an engineering job and just was butt down. Getting it done. But now I'm just cruising back a little bit, and I reckon I can come in a bit more regular.
We're stoked to have you back because we're super proud of this new version of the show that we're doing. And, Andy and I, we're pretty good. But we're also kind of dumb. You're very smart.
Not very, but
yeah.
smarter.
It's not hard to be smarter than us.
No.
I'm not the Wikipedia of knowledge of Andy, but
It's called autism.
Yeah, you're like the Adrian Newey of our show. You can just kind of look at a car and understand her.
I will
can
fix you.
her. Yeah.
yeah. And there was a few things last year. I was listening along. There was a few things I was like, I don't know about that, guys. Still going,
Mostly what Jack said, wasn't it?
yeah, you're still going for Red Bull. I just don't know about that. But
I told him this year he has to choose someone else.
I did pick someone else.
Who'd you pick? I forgot.
Max Verstappen.
It's gonna be someone on the grid.
I want to hear more about this heel turn that I've been hearing about.
Oh, the Lando. I'm heel turning on Lando. Fuck Lando Norris.
Yeah, I still don't like him.
Now, first of all,
No. I don't like him because he supports terrorism.
George Russell.
Exactly.
Now, this is a weird position for me to be in because I need you to understand that for years, I have been saying how much I hate this kid and I've been bullied for it. And I finally decided to go, maybe Andy and I should get along more. The show's better when we get along. I go, you know what, man, I'm willing to forgive Lando. And he goes, thank you. Listen to the earlier episodes. Andy's all about it. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
I seen the reel last night and I sent it straight to you.
Yes.
So it's Spa 2021. Well, you know how Lando crashed in Q3?
Mm-hmm.
And then George is sitting in his fucking Williams and he checks the screen. He sees that Lando takes a tighter turn. So he takes the tighter turn through turn 1 and ends up with a purple sector. And Lando's like, yeah, I seen that. I was cheering from you from hospital. I'm like, I hate this kid now. He supported terrorism.
So can I go back to hating Lando then? Is that allowed?
You can.
No, you have to like him now or we can start hating him for what he is.
In the beginning, the only reason I started watching F1 is because of you, Jack. And for the first 6 months, 100% of the information I consumed was through you. So
it's a very unbiased lens, I want to point out.
You're the dad of me, and there's the mum of me just finding it myself. And in there's this child of Lando always being hated. And it's like that you turning against it, liking him is just not on. As your child, I just don't want to see.
You've been speaking to your mum again.
Yeah.
There's a reason we broke up. First of all, Reese, there's a reason we're not together anymore. So that's where you've been for the last 2 years, huh? Huh? Listen to other Formula 1 shows, right?
It was 1 year.
Huh?
He only missed season 2, numbnuts.
What year are we on?
Season 3.
Fuck me, it feels like I've been doing this for a decade. But look, we have an exciting episode today. We're doing a really enjoyable thing we do every year, which we're doing 20 to 1 of where we think the drivers are placing.
When did you do your 20-to-1s?
You're about to hear it happen live.
Mad.
How
much of testing did you watch?
Good point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I did mine theoretically before testing. I just didn't write it down till this morning.
So yours is a pre-testing 20-to-1?
Yes.
Reese?
Mine's pre-testing with a little bit of knowledge of what Andy just told me before broadcasting.
And mine is post-testing. I was really, really lucky. I managed to watch most of testing. And by that, I mean I had it on the telly those days it was happening, and I watched the highlights, and I also watched some of the other YouTube videos they do, like the tech breakdown.
I cannot stand one of the guys on there. The guy with the fro.
Sam Collins?
The guy who needs to just give up on his hair and shave his damn head because he has a 10 head.
Now, yes, he is
terrible.
The best part of that team, though.
I hate him.
Look.
I can't stand the look. I can't stand the sight of him.
You know what, honestly, man?
As a bald man.
I was hoping you bring this up because I'm going to say that, like, man, maybe there's some other feelings going on here.
As a bald man myself, he should just give up, shave his head, and I might like him. But until he does that, fuck him.
It's a valid reason not to like someone. So testing did happen. Now, did you watch much of it, Reese?
I watched nil.
You watched nil. Did you see anything in it?
I watched a little bit of it. Actually, I wanted to ask Reese about the big news because me and you have discussed the big news.
Ask him about the big news.
Gunther?
No. How do you feel about Paul di Resta not being on the commentary team anymore?
Don't know which one that is.
That's fair enough.
But
I'm actually what I wanted to ask you is, what do you feel about Hamilton moving to Ferrari next year?
Oh, I don't understand why it's 1 year later. It's going to be a weird end of like, what's happening next year? Oh, you can't know. Oh, how am I supposed to know what we're doing? Oh, what's this upgrade? Oh, So yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they've called it 1 year, but I guess that's just the showmanship of Lewis. Maybe he wants out. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give you enough time, and then do it, and then go to the big red team. I don't know. I'm not an F1. I've only started a couple of years ago, so I'm not at that youth level. But there is something I've heard in the heart of every young F1 driver is that they want to drive for the Ferrosi.
Tifosi, but yes,
Tifosi.
bang on. Yeah, not bad because Ferrosi's also very cool sounding. There's this magic, there's this myth, there's this legend around Ferrari as an institution that the more time you spend in the sport, the more it rubs off on you, and like it just happens organically. Like when I watched as a kid, I was a Ferrari fan, but I was also a kid, and the red cars stood out and they won. Obvious choice to make. As an adult, I came into sport relatively new, Max fan when he first came up supporting Max. But as the years go on, I want Ferrari to win. Like I do. I want Ferrari to win every weekend just as much as I want my favorite drivers to win every weekend. And I don't know why it's happening to me. I don't know how Ferrari does it, but there must be something in their paint job that is subliminally like messaging everyone who sees it that like you kind of want us to win though, right?
Red mean fast. Go faster, even though it's the stop sign on every traffic light ever.
You know what? That is such a very fun part of Warhammer Discourse that we're going to have to talk about. You brought that up. Because red does mean stop in everything.
Yes.
But it's also the fastest cars.
It is.
I hate that you've said that now because I'm going to think about this for a long time. A long time. Big news, valid take. That's what a lot of the world's kind of stance is on this move. Like, huh? I guess.
It's fairly clear what happened. The Mercedes car, he took one look at it and went, that's a piece of shit. I'm going to drive this piece of shit instead.
Did you notice that as soon as he hopped out of the car on one of the little testing runs, he's got his phone taking all the photos of like the brake darks of the aero? Like there's footage of Lewis Hamilton like squatting next to the car being like snap, 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 pockets the phone, legs it from the shed. I don't want to be the person who's saying we know where those photos are going to. But I'm just saying, Lewis, in a man in your position, that does look awfully suspicious and will be confirmed depending on what Ferrari rolls out next year. There's only one way they got those documents.
Well, the other thing, too, is they don't really want to spend much time focusing on next year's car. It was brought up a lot during testing is next year's the last year of these regulations. Cars this year are probably just going to have a few upgrades next year, but January 1st, 2025 is when the 2026 cars can begin on them. You got to think every team's just like, yeah, we're just waiting to get to this moment so we can try and nail the next set of regulations, which is engine and aero.
That's what I think Red Bull is doing sometimes. And I thought there's a little tinfoil hat. It's only been 10 minutes, but we're already getting that tinfoil.
We've missed the tinfoil, Reese. It's nice to have it back.
What if? Because Red Bull's dropped their side pods a bit, quite considerably. Mercedes couldn't do it. They flopped. Seems like a floppy move. Red Bull comes do it. Oh, Red Bull's everyone. Let's do what Red Bull's doing. Comes out race 1, totally different.
So you're essentially we're transplanting the Mercedes concept, being like Red Bull's going to do it correct. Here's the differences though, because this is the big talking point about testing, right? Is Red Bull has wheeled out a very Mercedes-esque broken version of their car, but they've managed to get it to work. Here's what I've picked up on what's different about their version of it is, one, they didn't have to move the drivers forward in the cockpit. That came up a lot on the broadcast, is that traditionally when Mercedes rolled out their zero side pod concept, the only way they could get engine cooling was to move the driver forward and change how they got air into the car.
But it's not a zero side pod design. All it's done is it's taken the vertical duct from last year. Because if you looked at the horizontal duct that Red Bull had last year, it had the letterbox. Had the letterbox horizontal with a bit sticking out.
The bottom lip.
Bottom lip, which is pretty much what every other fucking team's done. And Adrian knew, he said, like, we've maximised what we can there. We know everyone's going to copy that. So we had to think outside the box. And what they've done is they put a vertical slit as well as a fucking horizontal one this year.
It is a damn impressive car to look at. The top shots looking down with the curvature around the, what do we call that top back end area of the car? That's
the engine cooling area.
The engine cooling area.
Well, they've got that whole extra little lip there that Mercedes had as well.
It is a very, very well designed Red Bull. The other aspect of it too is you could guarantee that they already had last year's car fully sorted right near the beginning, right? Like they knew what they were coming with. They knew how they were going to upgrade it. There was
Round
nothing.
15 was sorted. Is like no more money into 2023.
They knew exactly what they're doing.
As soon as the winter break hit, it was like, oh, we don't need to develop this.
Yeah,
no
we're
done.
Catch up. I also think the conversation would have been, they would have watched that clip of them arguing and being like, well, fix your fucking car. And Christian would have gone to Newey and gone, wouldn't it be funny if we did what they couldn't do just to get under? Because they're so petty. They are so petty that part of the discussion would have been, yes, technically we've pushed this car to its absolute apex. We need to fiddle with it.
So you're saying at the Sunday drinks of, I forgot when they actually won the championship, they were all having beers, 4 beers in, Newey just goes, fuck, I could do that.
Yeah.
Just go, do you reckon?
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Qatar where there's no alcohol?
Yeah. But they
So they sat down with some rose water.
They sat down with some rose water, took a sip and went, this is fucking horrible. Why don't we just do what Mercedes couldn't do just to really twist the knife a little bit? Because you can't say that that's not part of the motivation for these top teams. They only have one competition that they're fighting against, which is the team behind them. You've got some time there just to screw with the other teams there. Like, they've essentially gone, bearing the lead. This is how you make the most dominant form of this car all last year. And every car has come out in some way, and it's mainly the side pods and the cooling with the intakes, and gone, well, let's just do that because it was Red Bull's aero, right? It was Red Bull's aero. Yeah, it was, but it's also their ability to just go, that was our aero, and we can do it in 2 different, 3 different ways if we want to.
That's it. Killer.
The big takeaway from testing is that it's Max. Max is going to win this year, right?
Max has got 8 milliseconds on everyone.
Any other big takeaways? No. But we made a promise. We can't let Max's domination burn us out from having a good time. Because it did for a year or so. It's inevitable. He is Thanos. It's happening.
He's a menace.
Did you see, I sent it to you, Andy, I don't know if I sent it to you, Reece, so it's a clip from a few years ago at Spa where Joss hops next to Max and Max drives his father around. And it is horrifying to look at. So Max clearly is in drive mode. His eyes don't blink once, deadpan forward, those scary eyes he has. Joss is a psycho, a world-renowned psycho. He is terrified. And the quote is, Joss has realized he's created a monster. And then after they hop out, you can hear Joss in Dutch berating Max. And Max's reply is, Mum went faster. Like this, you know what? As disappointing as this is for like the good competition of the sport, I think we need to enjoy it for what it is. The perfect match of man and machine. Really, they've managed to do what everyone in the sport is trying to do.
He should
even
start
though
with a 100-point handicap.
and even then,
He'd probably still win it.
yeah, right. Because he could have done that last year. He was over 100 points in front.
I know, but a 100-point handicap. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, or start at the back every race.
Yeah.
Some form.
He
of
doesn't
something.
get to qualify.
However, let's talk about the rest of the teams in testing. Did anything stick out to you? Because I've got some good takeaways that I want to run through. Andy and I disagreed on something pretty big in messaging about this, actually.
Do we?
We did. The steak, the neon.
Oh my God, that car looks like fucking vomit piss.
It looks great on track.
I think it looks good. I haven't seen it on track.
It looks good on
like
track.
fucking shit. It looks so bad. Lime green and black don't fucking work.
The one thing I like about it,
Nonsense.
and I will call it a state car, and it's funny because
It's
last
Sauber. It's Kick Sauber because State can't have the fucking naming
Well,
rights.
same with
Joe
the other-
Guan Yu, bro. Get it right. We've been
Yeah.
doing this for years.
But if you look at it, you know it's a state car.
Yep.
Last year, you look at the car, it's like, is that green? Is that like it was a
Which
bit
one
weird.
are you?
Which one are you? And it comes from everyone just going putting that big black everywhere. And they're
They're
just
not
a
pa- they're
slap
not-
of their own little colours.
It's just carbon fiber because every team has carbon fiber everywhere.
We did do the big carbon file. I've actually got the chat up from last night, Andy, of you and I talking to each other.
Oh, good.
So I went, and this is how you know it's a real fight between Andy and I when the replies become one word. He goes, Merck's literally just said, oh, that's from a couple of days ago. I know it's only testing, but Big Dick got the fourth fastest, so Daniel Ricciardo's doing well. And
That was on
we
day
celebrated.
one.
We
Day
celebrated. It was a positive moment. And then I go, notes for the show. This is where it kicks off. I go, the Alpine is fugly. And Andy goes, I hate it. It doesn't work. So we're agreeing. We're agreeing.
Yeah, because the Alpine looks like shit.
It does. It's horrible. And then I say, the RBs are very fucking good looking, though. And he goes, Visa Carb or the Red Bulls, which I think is superfluous at this point because the Visa Cash App, Racing Bulls, etc., et al., whatever the fuck the team name is, has decided that their broadcast name is RB, which is
they are V carbs.
the worst. Right, RB is the worst one they could have
Yeah.
picked.
V
Racing
carb is
Bulls.
better. V
V-carb.
carb is better.
And I'm going to call him Toro Rosso.
Yeah.
keep
It's
running
very, very revisionist of
No,
you.
no. They're the Minardis.
The Minardis. So he goes, Visa Carb or the Red Bulls. I go, Max just went faster slap again. Both. But commentary name for the Visa Cash App is RB. And he goes, V Carbs.
You can't.
I'm not reading that.
Do not read that joke.
I reply, brah, laughy face. He goes, there's a lot of things I can't read, actually. He goes, you see Alonso's quote, 19 drivers already know they won't win the world title this year. And I was like, yeah, he's probably going to win every race. He will retire at the end of the year. Danny, 2025 World Drivers' Championship. Nice. Andy says, yeah, Danny's going to need to do something different, blah, 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 valid strategy. I then essentially say the Red Bulls look good. And I say the Cash App looks good. Sorry, the kick. And he goes, no, it's disgusting. And my one-word reply is incorrect. And that's where our conversation kind of tailed off for the evening. Because we just went, nah.
I like it. I like it.
I
It's
like
futuristic.
it. You're wrong.
Some of the lines could be different. I don't know. The colour's not the problem to me.
It needs work. It's not perfect. It could be so much better. On track, though, it looks awesome. Looks like a green lightning bolt. All the teams seem to have pretty good cars. That's my big takeaway from testing, is that the Ferrari...
You didn't say what I said.
What did you say? I stopped reading your replies.
My reply was in regards to me saying Sauber looks disgusting and fugly, and you're being like, nah. I was like, looks like they shit in their hands and clapped. Because that's what that car looks like. They have just taken a shit. It's lime green shit and they clapped.
What are you
and that's
shitting?
what's left?
That was my... As you can see why I stopped replying, because I instantly went, I was like, I have done some green poos in my life before, but never lime green.
Never lime green.
Never lime green. Like,
Hasn't drunk enough energy drink.
oh, bro, I can't do the energy drinks anymore. Look, I'm a big fan of that car. I think it's going to be okay. It's probably not going to... Enjoy for what we see of it, man. We're not going to see it on the broadcast, aren't we? Like, yeah, there's the best part about testing. You get to see every car for a little while. I think the RBs are decent. They look okay. They look okay.
The gloss blue looks nice.
Oh man, the livery looks really good. But as for like pace wise, they seem okay. They
I'm
haven't
not
gone
convinced.
backwards.
I'm not convinced.
Outside of that though, like the McLarens, solid as a rock. Both those boys went through testing really, really well. The Williams, I only really kind of watched Albon. Like Logan went on track a little bit, not that interested. He's kind of just sitting there.
He's just waiting for Antonelli to take his seat next year. Let's be real.
Oh, 100%. Antonelli, I've watched some of this kid's highlights.
Yeah, he's going to be a
You
fucking
familiar with
guy.
Antonelli?
No, I haven't heard of him yet.
He's
Words on him, he's better than Max.
Words on him, he's more of a prodigy than him and Russell.
Yeah.
Combined.
Like, this is, you know how there's that
Yeah.
once in the generational talent driver? We saw Lewis, we saw Max, we saw Seb. Antonelli is apparently the next Italian
And
superstar.
he's a Merc driver. And
Merc
everyone
Italian.
thinks that if he does well enough, he'll bypass Williams and go straight into Lewis's seat.
Yeah, this kid has
Interesting.
got
And
tickets.
he'll get rid of Russell, hopefully.
Tickets. The Mercedes, new paint job, big fan.
Yeah, it looks
The
good.
split design is stunning, and they look pretty okay.
No, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Speed and pace wise, they seem okay. Like in the previous testings we've seen, there's been complaints about porpoising, there's been cars blowing up, there's been people going nuts on the radio about things. I haven't heard a huge amount of radio messages with any driver who's genuinely unhappy with their car. Where that's let down is everyone's pretty happy with their car, and it's nowhere close to the Red Bull. That's the scary bit. Like,
What was it? Max went 1.1 second quicker on day one than anyone else.
Yep. and
That's
then
ridiculous.
Checo easily topped the charts when he was in.
No, Checo was always behind Sainz. He was
Oh, in that
always
session he was, yes.
No. Throughout the whole thing. He was comfortably behind Sainz
Oh,
in the
yes.
end.
Yes, because day 2 was a Ferrari day.
Yeah, day 2 and day 3 were Ferrari days.
Dude, the Ferrari with the white on it, best looking Ferrari in years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's
Oh,
so
little
stunning.
stripe. That is nice.
Oh.
Little yellow. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I mean. The cars are like, the Alpine looks horrible. And they've come out and said it's going to be a dog this year, haven't they?
No, so reports out of testing was that the cars that they thought were in the back of the grid were the expected, Sauber and Haas, but also they were just like an Alpine. Like that's a big tell. If you think Alpine's back with those cars, then it's going to be a bad year for them. Because the two Frenchmen will be fighting each other, and only one of them has a contract pass this year.
If I had to put him in the top 10 or bottom 10 team, I would be putting him in the bottom team.
I would
bottom
too.
10.
And I'd almost be willing to swap their place with Williams.
Yeah, Williams is definitely going to finish 6th this year, I reckon.
They're doing everything they need. Everything they need as a team to get out of the back of the pack. Like, from getting sponsors on to getting Albon comfortable in the car. Like, Logan, while he might not be the best driver, is bringing in a massive financial investment to that team. And hopefully we can see a little bit more of him this year to kind of go, oh, all right, there is something in there. I never had big thoughts on him coming straight from F2. Like, he was never a dominant F2 driver.
No, he wasn't. He was just the Williams driver at the time. And old mate who was really good, Capito, he had big raps on him, and then he got sacked.
Yes, which we were devastated at the time was. Good decision for the team, though.
Yeah,
They've only gotten better.
James Bowers is a fucking cracker as a team principal. Should we get on to the 20 to 1?
Oh,
Should we?
The last thing I was going to say about Williams was they're interesting because they are good, but they're very niche on the race of where they're good. So if they can pull off some kind of rounded out to be good at the good races and okay, not so bad at the no so good races,
Yeah.
I reckon top 10.
Because that was the big thing that in India, it was a big thing that you kept saying last year was that any track that has less downforce, they're better at because their aero package wasn't as good.
Yeah, they don't know what downforce is.
However, if they can get some more downforce on the car this year, they're going to do exactly what you said, Reese, which is be more reliable points getters, which is what we want. We can do our 20 to 1. We'll start from the back.
Yeah, obviously you start 20th.
Now,
1 to 20.
I'm hoping, and we'll go on 3 for this because I have a feeling it's all going to be the same driver we've picked for 20th
I feel like
place.
it is too.
So 3, 2, 1.
Logan Sargent.
Yep.
Yeah. okay.
Well, mine, I
At
don't know.
19th, I feel like is the same as well. 3, 2, 1, Lance Stroll.
No.
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 Yeah, no,
And
neither.
also mine, I don't know. I have a little vision this morning when I woke up that there's going to be 21 drivers. There's 21 last year, and there's going to be 21 again this year.
Okay, who's 21st then?
I like this,
I don't know
Reece.
who
I
is the
like
21st.
this.
If it is Sargent Steele or Liam Lawson.
I like what this man's saying. I like what he's saying, Andy.
We know Lawson will be on the grid next year. It's part of his contract.
Yep. Is it going to happen this year?
Maybe. I mean,
Does Jacko shit the bed so much he gets dropped completely?
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you what, if last year went for more than two or more races, I definitely think Helmut would have pulled the trigger. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you reckon if he got a seat at Toro Rosso that he would take it? Or do you reckon he'll be like, nah, that's not for me?
No,
Take it.
I think he'll go. I don't think he'll stay. If he gets dropped from Red Bull, he won't.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Liam Lawson. I was like,
Liam
he'd take
Lawson
whatever
will
seat
take
he
it.
could get. Would Jacko say no, man? He'd go be
no.
a dad. He'd go retire and be a dad for the next 50 years and have one of the best human lives possible.
He'll do reserve driving like Nico was.
Yeah, like
just not look to get back in the sport.
dude's going to be getting paid millions of dollars a year to do less than he's currently doing in a less busy schedule. Like, honestly, if you're good in Formula One and you get fired, that's still a dream fucking come true. When you look at my bank account, I'd love to be fired by an F1 team.
I know, right?
As a driver.
18 million Danny got from just being fired?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got paid out 18 million and then got 3 million from Red Bull to sit on the sidelines for half a year.
Right? Like,
Tasty.
bro. Bro's insane. 19.
The only thing I was going to say about 20, if Sargent was there,
Yep.
if he can find the car, which I don't know if he can.
It's usually in the garage.
He's gone, right, the car might be better. If the car pulls off and they get that consistency and he can kind of find it, it's his second year. I hope for the kid. I do like the kid.
I want him to do well too, right? Like, he's not an obnoxious American. As much as he's American,
He's the
when it comes
token
to
American kid, as Andrew said last time.
he is. But when it comes to like the broad spectrum of Americanisms, he's also like the least American on the world stage, right? Think about it.
Not fat.
Not fat, and he's also like. But to be fair, we're also fat. So
I mean, we'd fit in America.
We'd fit in America. However, when it comes to like annoying Americanisms that we try and stick away from as Aussies, he doesn't really put many out there. Like, the worst thing he did was in that F1 rookie photo shoot where you had to write things down, where you said, my favorite thing is America. Like, that's the most American thing he's done. So I want the kid to do well. I just think that there's 18 other drivers who are more talented than him, and the one who's less talented than him has a better car. So
Okay, so who's 19th then?
19th for me. Oh, see, it's hard. It's hard, but I'm going to say 19th based on something you said earlier today will be Esteban Ocon.
I got K-Mag.
Yeah, I was saying this is not hard. It's K-Mag.
See, no, K-Mag's one up for me.
I've got K-Mag there because that Haas is a dog, and we know
Yes.
it's a dog, and it won't improve because Gene Haas won't invest in the team.
It's valid. I also really don't like Ocon.
I really don't like Ocon too, who is out of contract, remember?
That's why he's going to put in a big year.
Big year to get
Big
no
year.
fucking contract.
Big year.
He really wants that Mercedes seat. He had a point not too long ago where he was just like, yeah, I'm still a Mercedes driver, right? He had to put that out there to the world, and everyone scoffed at him.
And then the world responded, we know, we just don't care.
Exactly.
So K-Mag for you boys,
Mm.
probably a more likely pick, in all honesty. K-Mag's next for me, sitting at number 17.
18.
18. I can't count.
Clearly. This is why you should have wrote it down.
No.
18 for me is Hulk.
Yeah, I got Hulkenberg at 18.
The whole last season, because I haven't really commented since him coming to the pack. But yeah, great driver. I don't know, they need some of them old drivers that can drive. I thought Magnussen was good when he came in. Hulkenberg's better.
Hulk's fantastic.
Over one lap, he's really good. He can put it in Q3. It's just the car that let him down.
Yeah.
Which is why like Hulk's next for me. The Haas boys, like K-Mag and Hulk, will finish close to each other. And it's mainly the car thing. They're both good, but I think I think Hulk is going to more often than not qualify 1 or 2 places higher than K-Mag pretty easily. Therefore, points will be roughly the same, but position, he'll always be a little bit better, just kind of be closer to scraping that extra point or 2.
So still 0 points, but he might hit one point eventually.
Yeah, in and around that area.
17th?
For me?
Yeah.
Joe.
No, you can't have Zhou. You have one of the Haas's there, dickhead.
Oh, 17.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, because I
17.
did Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you looked at me and said 17. I thought I was ready for my next one.
Ah, sorry. Well,
My bad.
I've
17.
got Zhou.
Joe?
I got Joe as well.
No, nothing controversial there.
No.
That Sauber sucks.
The Sauber's not fantastic.
That's why my next pick hurt me as well.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, same. Because like I'm just one away from you guys at the moment. I know what we're picking.
So you've got 16th as Zhou.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my 16th's Bottas.
Yep.
Yeah.
One Tsunoda.
Ooh,
That's controversial.
That's controversial. I like it. Discuss.
Why?
He's just not a great driver. He's
False. Wrong.
I don't know. Maybe he gets some potential, but it really showed to me last year. It was maybe Mexico, but he was battling Oscar, and he's gone around a corner, and Oscar, just pulled in, like opened the door, whatever, went inside, end up hitting Tsunoda. He spins out. You hear Tsunoda on the radio. "No, he hit me, blah, 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 blah." Just like losing his mind, and Oscar's there, cool the cucumber. He pulled into me.
Oscar's like a sociopath.
Yeah, but it's just like, he doesn't have. I don't know.
There's a reason he speaks like that. Jack, do you want to entail why?
I heard about it last on the other podcast.
He actually listens.
Yeah, he actually listens
Reese
to what
listens.
Yes.
Reese listens, so he knows why. Look, it's a bold. I respect the boldness of your choice, and this time last year, 100% would have agreed with you. I don't know, man.
I think he's matured a lot.
The kid's okay. I look, he's not top 10 for me. I'll make that clear.
I probably should have put him above all the Alpines now that I'm looking at it.
maybe, but interesting. And you said?
I've got Bottas there because the Sauber sucks.
Yeah. And then for me, the next two is Zhou and then Bottas as well. And it's for the same reason. I think it's going to be mainly a car thing.
I have Perez down here as well.
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ.
Because he's getting dropped after about 5 races. He'll get a bunch of points. And then he'll sit there, so these other guys won't be able to catch him, but he'll sit somewhere around that area. I'm put him as 15th, but
Reese is coming. He's taken a year off, and he's come back haymakers only. Haymakers only. This
get
boy
Denny
wants
Rick in
scouts.
there. Get him in there.
I've got fucking Ocon at 15th for the exact same reasons you. It's going to be a stellar year for him. He's going to put in absolute banger performance to not get a contract next year, which is what he fucking deserves.
Yep, valid. Next to me, and this one's the one that hurt. Pierre Gasly.
Pierre at 14.
Yep.
Who you got at 14?
Bottas.
I got my favourite punching bag at 14.
Stroll?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. That's the thing, right, man? I want to put Stroll lower and lower, but the more I look at it, that car is going to be good enough for him just to get more points.
The car was good enough for him last year, and he still didn't get points.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he got points, but not as much. Alonso got fucking 200 and something points.
Yep.
And he got 80.
Yep. He got 10th though. So he's top half.
And that's what annoys me about him so much.
That's what I hate about him
He's
as
so
well.
shit, he's in 14.
He needs to be out. We all agree. I don't think there's only one person who wants Lance Stroll to be an F1 driver, and that's Lawrence fucking Stroll. And that's the reason he is an F1 driver.
But his team would be so much better if he had 2 competent drivers.
So much better.
That's
so
what
much better.
everyone says.
But his life would be more fulfilled.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, come on. He's a son of a billionaire, man. They don't get
Stop playing
privileges.
your games, Dad. Like,
Just get rid of him.
When he was going to go to tennis last year, I was so happy. Fuck off to tennis. I'll never have to see him
He
again.
gives tennis player vibes, though, doesn't he?
He's wanky vibes.
Tennis players are
wet rag.
wet rag. Yeah. Because even like Nadal and Djokovic was like, he's the funniest tennis player in existence, and he's only like a moderately funny. That should tell you about the rest of the tennis players. If Djokovic, who can do like a semi-good impersonation of one other tennis player, is the funniest man in tennis, look at the rest of them. That should tell you why. I've put Pierre that low.
14.
Yep. Because if the Alpine is bad, he's going to drive the pants off it no matter what.
Oh, I agree.
He's the best driver out of all the ones we've spoken about up to this point. The car's going to let him down, and Aston's car, even though Lance Stroll drives like a fucking squid, is going to get more points than him. Because even though Alonso got 200, that motherfucker still got enough to come 10th, beating heaps better drivers. K-Mag, better driver. Hulk, better driver. Albon, better driver. Is the machinery. Pierre's going to outdrive the Alpine because he outdrives every car he's been except for the Red Bull. My bad, bro. But he's going to be limited because the other cars are better.
Fair enough. Who'd you have 14?
I had Bottas.
Bottas.
The other thing I have to say about the state, it's a dog car. I don't know. It's one of those things. Is like what goes before the chicken and the egg, because you have Bottas, and you've got Joe. So like Joe's paying for Bottas to be there, and then you just hope Bottas has enough knowledge to drive the team in a good direction.
Controversial pick. I don't think Bottas or Joe will be at Sauber next year.
I think they're both done simply because Bottas has nothing left to prove, and he has other things that he will enjoy more, which is like...
There's another really good driver currently on the market as well.
Jesus?
Carlos. Carlos has been linked to that team for, a year and a half now?
Yeah.
Since the Audi deal. That's where he's going.
Yeah, probably. And so, yeah, Bottas will cruise on simply because he's done everything. And, he gets to retire as one of the most loved drivers ever. Like, does anyone actually have a problem with him?
Motherfucker's going to go win the Tour de France.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though, if he does go competitive cycling? It'd get me to watch a little bit of it.
I would not watch cycling.
Highlights. Highlights.
Nah, you can't convince me.
Yeah, that's valid, man.
Fuck cyclists.
Strong opinion, but also, I did get stuck behind some of them today. And I tell you what, I try and be a good person, man.
On Pierre Gasly.
You went Pierre. Good choice. Good choice.
That's just because the Alpine's dog.
Ocon.
Makes sense. I can see it.
Alpine probably be up. I've got an arrow, which I didn't see before. So the Gasly and Ocon was supposed to be 17th, I think. No, 16th.
For me in 13th, Albon. Lil Alex.
Yeah, he'll drive the pants off that Williams.
Yep.
He does have a contract for next year with Williams, but contracts are like toilet paper, aren't they? They can be torn very easily. Yeah,
contracts don't matter. He's at no risk of not having a seat anywhere. One, because he's a massive culture pick. Like, every interview you see with that kid, he just seems happy and lovely. And every social media post, he's back at home with his family. Like, he just seems like such a well-rounded young individual that any team is like, well, man, like, you're probably not this child prodigy like our main driver is, but to have someone who just fits in, is nice, and is still very quick, he's just Carlos take off 15 years.
Yeah.
Culture-wise. But I'm putting him there. I just don't think the Williams has enough to reliably get enough points to keep him higher.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you have?
Wait, was that 13?
Yeah, you said Ocon.
Yeah, I've got Gasly.
So we're close. 12.
Albon, for the same reasons as you. He'll be better than the Alpines.
Yep.
That's literally it. He'll be better than the Alpines.
I like it.
Albon, wait, are we talking about Albon?
12.
We're up to 12. Who you got in 12th?
Gasly.
Fair.
Nice.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
don't know. That bottom pack, it's all up to the car. And they could do anything. Something could change in the middle of the year. Yeah.
Now, 11 for me is a position. This is more of a...
Wait, who did you have in 12th?
12?
Yeah.
Did I do my 12?
You didn't say your 12th?
Oh, easy. Stroll.
Too high.
Well, here's the thing. I couldn't realistically put him anywhere lower, but I couldn't emotionally put him anywhere higher. So that's where he sits.
He sits 14th because he is the 20th best driver in the world.
Yep. Now can we do 11?
Now we can do 11.
So this is the first one out of the points. First, nearly made it.
There's only one person who can sit in 11th.
Who you got?
Yuki. Because he always finishes 11th.
Who you got?
Albon.
Albon, good choice, good choice. Yuki for me as well.
He always finishes 11th.
Yuki for me as well. He does seem to end up in that position a lot. I think it's going to be a high-scoring 11 for him, though. A high-scoring 11th. Just won't snake the top 10 simply because Danny's better.
There.
We'll beat him on his day. And then all the other drivers are probably better as well, or in vastly better machinery at that point.
Yep.
Yep.
Where we are? Well,
10. We've got 10. This is the big boys.
Well, let's start with the hugest appendage in the world.
I've
got 10th? Big Dick at 10th.
They see that's a realistic pick.
That is a realistic pick. I want at least 1 point.
We'll get to that, but yeah.
Well, you got him as number 1 because he beats Max this year. We know what you wrote.
No, he's not number 1. But we'll get to that. For 10th, I have Stroll. That car's just going to carry him way longer than it should.
Yep, that's valid. 10th for me. Look, I did have Danny.
But you then decided.
Well, it was so hard. So in my mind, it was very like scribbled out, crossed over, because I was like, man, I want the RB to do well and I want Danny to absolutely storm through. So my 10th, this is going to be horrible. This hurt. Fernando Alonso.
You
Get
fucking racist. How dare you?
I know.
How dare you,
I
I
know.
have Fernando in ninth.
Because the Aston, right? We saw they managed to copy the Red Bull and then they couldn't figure out what the fuck to do with it.
No, I want to bring something up because you guys missed it. People at work missed it when I talked to it. Everyone misses the big change last year that turned the table on its head, which was the tyre change. Mid-season, they changed the tyre compound in the tyre, and it just turned Aston's were shit, McLaren's were good, and then it kind of...
When did they change the compound? They changed the compounds every weekend.
No, sorry, not so much the compound, but there was a whole different structure and how they made the tyres. I'll have to bring it up. I don't know off the top of my head.
See, now, I don't remember, but also Reese isn't often wrong about these really niche technical things, and there was a lot of tyre chat last year. My strongest memory was around the tyre blankets being gotten rid of and being brought back.
Yep.
But give it a Google, because you know what, that might be legit.
I don't remember.
Either way, I don't think it's going to change.
Ted didn't say anything about it, which makes me think it didn't. Because he's always on the technical things in the notebook.
Ted was an interesting one. Did you see when he said, "Good morning, hipsters, get out of my way," walking down the pit lane at one point during testing?
No, but that's fucking hilarious.
Hey, actually, this is a testing chat while Reese gets
Googles.
confirmation on this. Did you see the McLaren interview with Oscar, where they said, one of the interviewers is like, and wouldn't it be such a cool storyline to see Lewis win in his last year at Mercedes? And Oscar, deadpan as always, goes, I think that's the worst outcome.
Huh.
I think it would be heaps better if Oscar Piastri won this year.
I think that's heaps
Why would
better
you
too.
even say that? Like, he just straight up goes to the interview. He's like, mate, that's a terrible idea. Why would you say that? I don't agree with you. It would be
Oscar's
better if I won and wandered off. Like, that was the interview. It was over.
Great.
It was fantastic. Fantastic.
That's such a Kimmy thing to do.
He's got the vibes of Kimmy. We'll just see if he has the talent to justify the coldness. Because that's the thing, right? Stroll is also flaccid in interviews, but he's got no talent to back it up.
Yeah, Stroll's a little bitch.
Yeah. Oscar's not.
I can't find it.
That's okay.
But there was a pivotal time where Aston Martin were going good. They were fighting for podiums.
Yeah.
And then it turned on its head. And
It was the upgrade after Canada. It just didn't work with the car. They brought in a massive upgrade. Like, Canada was the last one that they really did well in. And for some reason, the Aston just did not click with it. And it was the storyline running for the year. Every time they brought an upgrade, the Aston was shit. Then they'd go back to the old spec car and the Aston would do good again.
There was one point where that happened and coincided with some tyre changes. More tyre talk. I want to vouch that I'm going to talk about doing a show called Tyre Talk every week.
I'm down for you to come in with tyre talk. I'm so happy with that. So hold on. I've gone 10th.
Yeah, we were up to 10th.
10th.
We were about to do
And I've
9th.
gone Fernando, and you've gone Fernando in 9th.
No, I've gone Fernando in 9th, but I've got Big Dick at 10th.
10th. Who have you got in 10th? You've got Stroll.
Stroll.
So 9 for you is Fernando. 9 for
Yes.
me is Danny. 9 for you.
Andy's favourite, Milky Bar Kid.
His name is Osama bin Ankle Socks. Or Osama bin Latte Boy. Or Osama, I'm going to drive Mercedes into the ground because I'm a terrorist. I'm going to cut
Either
that.
I like Milky Bar Kid. Every time
He does
I
look like the
listen to
Milky
your
Bar Kid.
Yeah, and you said Milky Bar Kid. I could imagine him being in the ad for Milky Bar
It was.
and just with his little cowboy hat, looking like a dweeb.
It was. I tell you what, Andy, it's one of the best nicknames you've handed out on the podcast. I think we stick with Milky Bar Kid because I do really.
But look how
Osama
seamless that looks.
I know it was your background in our end of year show as well. I know the fucking George Russell Osama Photoshop is good. I know it's good.
He's a domestic terrorist who only wants to cause havoc at Mercedes by crashing into Lewis.
Which is like a crazy opinion to have, where it's like, that's what we said about Lewis for years as well. It's just, it turns out we really don't like Mercedes.
No, I just really don't like Russell. I think he's a twat.
You've got Russell sitting there. Love that choice.
Optimism.
I love it. Big fan, big supporter of that. So, number 8. So, we're getting to the pointy end.
I got the pastry.
Ooh, I hate that.
I have my reasons.
Enlighten us.
McLaren will be good, but he's second year. It's just his second year. Everyone else ahead of him is more experienced in the sport. That is the only reason he's 8th. I think that McLaren's good. He's still only in his second year.
Yeah, still developing racecraft.
He's not Lewis Hamilton. He's not Max Verstappen. I'm sorry. He's still developing.
He's better. He's better.
He's still developing, so he has to be 8th.
Valid choice. Look, 7 for me is...
What about your 8th?
Oh.
You only asked me.
Oh, right. My 8th, George Russell.
Said the name wrong again.
Milky Bar Kid.
Thank you.
Milky Bar Kid in 8th. That's a wishful thinking pick for me. That Mercedes is going to be pretty damn decent this year. Like, they're going to be competing for podiums, but...
Lewis took one look at it and signed for Ferrari the next day, though.
Yes. This is also Lewis Hamilton, who's spent 1 year not in a world championship winning car. 2 in his entire career. 1 at the start, 1 near the end.
No, he was fighting for the title in his rookie year.
Oh, in the
McLaren, he was fighting for it, and then he fucked up in China, and that cost him it.
Yeah, he did. He crashed.
Yeah.
In the pit.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. It was scenes.
So, 2 years, and they were 2022 and 2023 are the only 2 years he hasn't been in a world championship capable car.
Yep. So I can understand why he's like, no, I'm not doing this because it's not going to win. But I think they're going to be comfortable with like, oh, 3rd place shoo-ins. Easy. But that's where I want George. So now we do our 7s. Riso, 7.
Oh, so 7 to 4th is just pick it out of buckle.
Yes, it is.
Because what team is going to go good? I don't know. What's going to pull it together? What upgrades? It's all.
That's why this is predictions.
Oh no!
It's not like we're going to win $1 million by picking 20 to 1 here. I wish.
It will feel like $1 million
Thanks,
to me
Vegas.
if I pick more than Jack.
That's all I'm trying to do.
So I'm going to pick this one out of the bucket and probably put Science.
Rough.
Yep.
Understandable.
I don't. He's unlucky. What do I have against Science? Last
Ferrari.
year,
Ferrari.
That's all it is.
Ferrari. Year, and he's unlucky. He's one of the unlucky drivers. Just unlucky. When he's going good, something unlucky happens. When it's just unlucky.
You know what? He did have a really unlucky couple of years. Like, yes, some of them were his unluckiness and some of them were Ferrari's unluckiness, but it's hard to knock the unlucky streak that man's had, Andy. It's a valid point.
But then he also had luck in Singapore.
But that's why he's up there.
He created his own luck, though.
Yeah, he might be one of the most... He's the unluckiest at the top end of the field when it comes to luck. Valid. Who you got?
Checo.
I
think the pressure gets to him.
Pressure gets to him. I'd be interested to see where Jacko pops up on his because he
was 15th.
15th, yeah, because he gets fired.
Just wait.
Look, for me, it's then Piastri. For
That's
similar
fair.
reasons to you, Andy.
It's just
Similar
his second
reasons.
year. Everyone else has more experience.
Second year, more experience. Like, kid's got talent. He's going to be in the sport for a good while. But it's going to be a year where McLaren does lean harder on Lando. So decisions should, by right, fall Lando's way. And second year in the sport, see how he goes with the big dogs consistently. Because that's a big thing. All right.
Osama bin Latte Boy in 6th.
In 6th, I'll take
Because he crashes into Lewis more times than he should. And Toto is very
How
upset.
can you crash into Lewis more times than you should when you should every single fucking time, Andy?
Because he should never do it in Toto's eyes.
Oh, in Toto's eyes.
This is all in
valid point.
But he will do it more than he should, which is never. And he will do it every race, hopefully.
Valid point. Riso?
I am going with Oscar. This is the same. Yeah. Someone has to go down that point. He's the number 2 driver. That's a lot of these things. Sainz is going to be below Leclerc because he's going to be number 2 driver. And same here.
Yep. I like it. For me, it's Checo.
Still low.
So wait.
It's still low.
I don't understand you guys' theory.
He'll
You reckon
last the year.
He's going to go that bad?
$20 million from Mexico to race at Red Bull. They will not
It's
or
Red
go
Bull. Everyone will give them enough money to put them on their car. They're the winning car
$20
every
million
week.
is not money you laugh at. If you're getting $20 million in your bank account to have Jacko in the car till the end of the year, you take the $20 million.
And look, the only reason I've kind of popped him there is it's similar reasons for the last couple of years why I normally pop him down a little bit is one, there's the fact that is Max Verstappen's team and every decision is going to go Max's way by right. The aspect is two, this car is Red Bull at its most peak. And whenever they hit that really top flight, only one person's ever been able to drive a Red Bull in top flight. We had Seb for those years. He was really the only one to get a handle on that Red Bull.
Oh, no, because Mark had him, was neck and neck with him until Multi-21.
Yeah. I just don't think... I think that this car is so Max Verstappen's car that when Checo does make those slight errors or doesn't drive it perfectly, the car's going to kick his ass about it. That's what I think. The car's like a switchblade knife. One wrong press and you shoot yourself in the hand with it, right? That's why I think he's going to struggle a little bit because, one, massive busy year of a season. Two, lots of pressure. This is the year that everyone's talking about who's next at Red Bull, right? I think he's going to make one or two slight errors and that car's going to punish him and therefore drop him back a little bit. So instead of it being a snap of oversteer and lose a second or two, snap of oversteer, hit the grass, lose a place or two. That's going to be enough to drop.
The only way Checo's going to get fired this year is if he doesn't finish and Daniel wins races. But realistically, let's be real, that's the only criteria that Checo's going to get fired. If he stops finishing races and Daniel's doing unbelievable things like finishing second to Max in the fucking R-beat, they'll be like, nah, we want those points, fuck you.
Yeah. It would have to be pretty big to cause the switch.
Exactly.
Who's next?
Wait, have you guys done all your...
Yeah, we're up to 5.
We're up to 5.
I'm going with Alonso.
I got Carlos.
Number 5. Number 5, I've gone Lewis.
Interesting.
Yeah, Lewis ain't going to be pushing as much as he can.
No, I feel like Lewis will, and that's where he will.
I was supposed to go Norris, not Alonso.
Norris?
Norris.
Also, really good pick.
Yeah,
that's a really good result.
Alonso is going to be above Norris.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to happen. Let's go Alonso.
Yeah, Lewis, that Mercedes is going to be decent. Lewis is going to get the best out of it, but he's also not going to be 100%. That's my viewpoint. Yours is the opposite, though, isn't it?
I think he'll push it too hard chasing that final championship with a Mercedes, and he will spin out way too much, or he'll just have silly errors.
Okay, I like it.
It'll be a weight of relief in Abu Dhabi when he can kick the W15 in the bin.
My question to you, Andy, who is the number 1 driver at Mercedes?
Lewis still.
Yep.
It's still Lewis until Lewis leaves. You can't put George Russell ahead of Lewis.
Can't. Lewis is so much more better than him.
Yes.
But then
and Russell drives into walls.
Do you reckon Milky Bar Kid gonna have a spit at that?
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
I reckon.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he has a dummy spit on the radio and we hear it and we can all laugh at it.
I might watch Drive to Survive just to see that.
I'm not, but I would
Actually
watch the reels of that.
No, you will be because we will be reviewing it on the show when low points this year. So you have to watch it, motherfucker.
Fine, I'll watch the stupid show. Fine, I will. But if you want me to do that, you have to tell me who's number 4.
Lewis. I've got Lewis in 4th.
I don't know if I've missed one, but Leclerc, I don't think I've said, but Alonso was my 4th.
Alonso 4. 4 for me, Lando.
You're wrong.
I reckon he's going to pull some ridiculous shit out of his hat this year because that McLaren's going to come out stable platform.
I also believe that, but you're wrong. He's not finishing 4th.
He's not ridiculous. He can't just pull ridiculous. He's not.
I don't know. He's got that killer eyesight now. He looks like a psycho in some of the photos I've seen.
I don't know. He just doesn't have that race.
He likes George Russell. That's enough to call him a psycho.
It's fair. It's fair. You said I had to pick a new team to support.
I did tell you that.
And I want it to be McLaren.
Good.
It's a good Aussie. And Lando is a good bloody driver. If Lewis is making those mistakes, if Checo's making those mistakes, if the Ferraris are Ferraris this year, where else? You know what I mean? Like he's in that conversation for that's why I've popped him there, because if the others have a slightly offish year and McLaren has just a pretty standard year, like a goodish year, I reckon he'll. I don't think it's going to be race wins getting him there, but I think between 6th and 2nd every race weekend regularly is going to pop him up in that top.
That's why I put him at 5th. But I reckon I'm not going to enjoy the path he's going to get, losing and going. I don't know, just not. He doesn't show hardship in a way, and
That's okay. I like it.
And it's I don't know, just to get through it. It's like that damn one or
broken.
that one. Yeah,
It broken.
Yeah. It's all valid points.
That's why I don't like him.
It's all valid points, but that's my 4th.
So who comes in 3rd then?
Carlos.
Hamilton.
Norris.
Man, you threw me a dummy. You threw me a dummy. I went that way. You were going this way. Talk about that.
I think that McLaren is going to be better. He is younger, he is hungrier, and he will take a lot more risks that will pay off. He will get a win this year.
Cool.
There's your bold statement. Lando will win this year.
I like this.
And I will hate it.
I like this. Very much so. Because your bold prediction is Checo gets fired. Your bold prediction is we have an orange race winner. I don't think I've come in with a super out there pick yet this year, which is crazy for me because normally I'm the one who's like this.
I've got one for you. You just switch your 2nd and 1st around. Just say that and you'll be right.
I can't. That's just a stupid decision to do.
I know it's a stupid decision. I did it last year.
Yeah, you did. You did. Look, 2nd for me, Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
I got Ricciardo.
Yes! Yes, Reese. In the Red Bull.
He comes in, like I say, in about round 7, and then he has enough time just to get seconds all the way into the championship finish. Yeah, Ricciardo. That's my bold prediction.
Oh, I want Reese to be right. I so want Reese to be right.
I mean, I do too, but it's not going to happen. 20 million Mexican dollars.
Well, hold on.
Oh, do we say dollars or Mexican dollars?
Well, it's whatever the conversion is to euro. I'm sure it's 20 million something. It's 20 million is definitely the number.
Okay.
Oh man, Reese, I hope you're correct. It would just be the most crazy season. If that's correct. It would be phenomenal. So number 1's all around, boys, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
I'm okay with that. That'd be fucking...
Obviously, it's Max.
Max.
It's Max, but come on, it's Shane.
So now here's the big prediction, and this can be the Max prediction because he's going to win the championship this year.
How many?
It is. What % of races does he win?
75.
86.
Because I'm genuinely afraid that this might be a 100% season.
I don't think it will be.
Not possible.
Okay.
It is possible, but not possible.
It is possible, but I think the car, while it is really good and Max will dominate in it, there has to be a breaking point. You can't be this lucky for this long. You can't. Even Lewis has had DNFs after X amount of races.
Valid.
Max must lose something. Probably his mind.
Yeah. I don't want it to be 100% race, but my bold prediction that I'll leave on is Dutch National Anthem, every GP, every sprint this year.
Please no.
100% victory.
That will burn me out. We'll have to talk about other sports at that point. We'll have to just pick another sport to talk about.
Will you start a third show?
Yeah. No. We will talk about Formula 1 for 5 minutes, then we'll talk about literally any other motorsport.
So bold predictions for the boys this year. I like it. I like this. I think it's going to be fun.
Great.
Now, we have the Bahrain Grand Prix coming up.
It is this weekend.
You excited?
I am.
Andy?
I'm not.
Let's go racing.
Let's go racing.
Fuck the Middle East.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
Can we have just 2 rounds? How many weeks till Australia?
It's like a month and a bit.
Surely not, because April something is...
If I'm not mistaken, next year...
We're starting in Australia, and that's going to be fan-fucking-tastic.
Keen for that one.
I would much prefer us to just start in Australia.
I really like the night racing at Bahrain.
Well, apparently we're 201 days away from fucking the next Grand Prix, according to this. And it's not counting down at all. That's fucked.
We might need to check that. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Oh,
hold up.
Before While Andrew's just looking up that, I wanted to say one thing from last year.
It's the 22nd of March. So the first round is on the 22nd of March.
So still a month away.
Yeah, about a month.
But yeah, one idea you guys had, proximity chat. Great idea.
Yeah, proximity chat can only be a benefit.
Why don't they make it happen?
I feel like that it would not be allowed to be broadcast.
Yeah. Can you imagine some of the stuff that comes out of Yuki's mouth?
Yeah, fucking...
Oh, bro, it would be maybe for like one race a year.
Monaco.
We could do prox chat. No, because then you'd never hear anyone because they're all next to each other in Monaco.
Yeah, that's the whole
everyone's
idea.
in proximity. It's just a bunch of different languages saying, move, get out of my fucking way. Move. Prox chat, yes. Look.
No, polite prox chat at Monaco. Excuse me, sir. Could you please move to the left so my car may go through? Just do that. Just see how that works. How long do they keep the politeness up before Yuki's like, get the fuck out of my way?
I'm going to say about 1 second.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to drop an F-bomb first thing on the
Danny.
radio.
Danny would get on there and he'd be like, let's go, cunts.
Did you see Danny doing kind of a speech as part of his media thing saying, 2025 world champion, and they kind of laugh and clap. And then
Max comes through.
So he's in front of like this kind of like placard barrier situation, speaking to the sponsors, speaking to the fans. He's like, world champion 2025. And everyone's like, woo. Max rips a hole, kind of pulls a panel apart, sticks his head through, goes, let's go, Daniel! And then just goes back into the crowd and disappears from it. I would give, after this season, if Max and Danny could just retire and become, and we will give them the rights to our show, if they could become the new Formula Bums, that would be the dream, right? To have them on a podcast, just podcasting together.
No, because Max doesn't like podcasts. He hates the Max Verstappen podcast joke.
Well, I don't blame... Dana White walked off a podcast recently too, actually. I know that has nothing to do with F1, but it does have things to do with podcasts. Dana White quit during the intro of a podcast.
Intro.
Yep.
Not very far.
It was not Howard Stern. It was Howie Mandel, I believe. And he starts off by going on like a 3-minute over-the-top, wanky, complimentary introduction of Dana White. And he goes, I'm so fucking done with podcasts. I'm not kidding. I'm done. Headphones off, out the door.
Perfect.
That was his, hey, how you doing, mate? I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I'd be done with podcasts too if it was all they were talking about is either how good you were or how bad you were. But if we had the boys here being like, which drivers do you think you could beat in a punch-up, they'd be all about it. That's the content we're going on. And I think that's the activity we end on. We've seen all the drivers. We know all their physiques. Which drivers do you think you could beat in a fight?
Oh. Can I lather myself in bacon? And bacon grease? It's very important to the answer of my question.
That depends. Is it religiously based for your reason?
No.
Then carry on.
If I'm allowed to do that, I'm going to fight Lewis. Because he won't be able to...
Yeah. It's a vegan. Yeah, he won't be able to bite you.
He'll be too scared.
That's a valid point. I think... I can tell you the ones I don't think I could beat. Max. Because Max is a psycho. Fernando. I truly believe if you look in his eyes, that man has killed someone before with his bare hands. Look at his eyes next time. There's a cold, morbid confidence emanating from him. I'm not fighting Fernando. Ocon? No question.
Yeah, he's a fucking tweak boy.
Ocon, Danny, physically, yes, I could overpower the man. Emotionally, no. It would break me.
It'd hurt.
It would break me. Joe.
That was close. That was probably my number 2.
Joe, maybe. But here's the thing, man. If he's got some martial arts training, you just don't know. He's such a mystery. We know nothing about him, really. Like, we know where every driver lives and their whole life story. Give me a fact about Joe.
I don't know.
Right, exactly. No one knows anything about this kid. Could be a monk for all we know. Crazy fists. What if you...
No, can we actually fucking call out Formula 1 right now? Have you seen the time of this fucking Grand Prix this weekend?
No, what time is it?
2 a.m.
Oh, which is why we're lucky we're watching them not live anymore this year. We're watching them together.
All because they got to start on a fucking Saturday because of Ramadan.
Yeah, that's right. The next 2 Grand Prix are Saturdays too.
Well, they're Sundays here. They're just 2 a.m. in the fucking morning.
Yes, yeah, but they're Saturdays for rest of the world where it's happening.
Better than Sunday morning than Monday morning.
Yeah.
Do you say?
Yeah, it's valid.
I hate this. I hate this sport.
It's-
Fucking, it should be convenient to me. Yes, we're turning this around and making it about me now. How fucking dare they think they could put a fucking Grand Prix on at 2 a.m. Australian time?
It's a valid point.
It's at 2 a.m. So
2 fucking a.m. No, it's dark for them too.
Yeah, it's actually nighttime is for them as well.
How it should be fucking daylight for us then? They're the other side of the damn fucking world.
What we need 3 Australian races like the Americans have.
Yes.
Bathurst, Melbourne. Dude, can you imagine F1 at Bathurst?
F1 at Bathurst was. I saw some Mercedes car getting the
Yeah,
fastest
Jensen
lap.
Button did it.
Jensen's car going around it, yeah.
It was going fast.
Yeah, bro. And then what's another good Australian track? Phillip Island.
No. That's 2 Victorian races.
That's true.
We got to take them somewhere fun.
Oh, Gold Coast
Yeah,
500.
Gold Coast.
Let's
500.
do the Gold Coast 500. Gold Coast Grand Prix. Jack's going to be there to start the race.
Look,
As long as it's in Tweed Heads.
Yeah, if it's in Tweed, no, I was going to say, if you give me a real pistol, I'll start the fucking race in Queensland.
I wanted to say thanks for having me this week. It's good to be back.
Welcome back, man.
Getting the trio going again. I got some iconic trios.
Look,
Just
Iconic trios.
little sugar for your salt and pepper.
Okay.
Oh, I like it. That's good.
That's good, that's
Sugar,
good.
salt, and pepper.
Some Leon Lawson with your Max and Checo.
I like it.
Some Ron with your Harry Potter and Hermione.
Jack's definitely
Oh,
Hermione.
no. Shut the fuck up. Answer that. No, you're the pedantic one. You're Hermione.
You're the one with the long hair.
And tits. It's a valid point. Yeah, actually, it's hard to argue against.
Some Blossom with your Buttercup and Bubbles.
Yeah,
that one.
Powerpuff Girls.
Some Zazu with your Simba and Nala.
Yep, Zazu.
And your bit of little Olaf with your Anna and Christoph.
That's nice.
Those were some iconic trios.
Yeah,
It's
so it's good to
good.
be back.
It's good iconic trios.
You just forgot the left ball, the right ball, and the penis.
Yeah.
So that is probably the most iconic trio of them all. And with
I just to throw it out there. That hand signal I just did, that's a pretty amen. Thank you for listening. Reach out to us on social media. Thank you, Chunky Thunder, who's now messaging us on Instagram. Does he have anything to add to our show today?
not to this one. He had stuff for the other show that I forgot to mention.
Mention away.
No, it's for the other show.
Oh, the other. I gotcha. Bums Formula on X, at Formula Bums everywhere else.
Subscribe to YouTube, Bums Media Group, at BMG Division.
And that's everything, isn't it?
Let's
I
go.
Racing.
Website.
FormulaBums.com.
Go there.
Let's go.
Listen to the show there. Give us views. Give us traction.
And I want to point out this is the highest ever listened to episode simply because Reese is back. It's on site next time we meet some of you in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing that out there. If this goes to the moon because Reese is back after a year and we get popular again,
Let's go.
it's on site at our next meetup.